Well, howdy, one and all. Thank you very much for joining me, everybody. My name is Red Baron. Thank you and welcome to the show. All you guys that are new, first-time listeners, thank you very much for joining us. Again, my name is Red Baron. I'm from the Unfair Advantage .chat, also fibbycharts.com. So this is a very special day for me. My girlfriend is now boxed up and delivered to my house. She's sitting on the bed behind me here listening to me live stream. Would you like to say something, honey? No? You don't want to say anything? Okay. Well, you don't want to say anything sexy in Ukrainian? No? Well, it sucks for you guys, because I'll tell you what, you ain't lived till you heard a Ukrainian chick whisper sweet nothings to you. So more for me, less for you. Sucks to be you. So okay, so anyway, let's get on with the show. Thank you very much for joining. So you guys that know the story of what's taken place to the gal behind me here. So I'm something's going right in my life, you know. So that was a really scary thing. So she's in good shape, and so she's on the mend. She's back in my care, and probably no better place for her to be. So anyway, we'll get on with the show here, and we'll cover that later on if there's time. So let's go ahead and take a look at the market here. A lot of stuff going on. So let's. I'm going to kind of wing it. We're just going to do it Bill O'Reilly style. F it. We're just going to do it live. I'm just going to make it up as I go along here. I don't have a real plan in mind. I just want to go live because it's been a while since I've been on, so you guys kind of get itchy when I don't come on. So I'm just doing this more or less as kind of a quick look at the markets to see what's going on here. So let me pull up a few things here real quick. I tease my girlfriends. I'm just like that. I'm ruthlessly teasing all the time. So give me just a minute here, guys. My charts. All right, so you guys that are new to the live stream, again, we come from fibbycharts.com. If you guys would like to subscribe to us, just go to fibbycharts.com, go in the upper left-hand corner, and you can subscribe to our AI-powered charts. That's what we use, featuring ISIS and Anubis, our long-range and short-range automated intelligence forecasting software that's built into our charts. And if you'd like to, join us at the unfairadvantage.chat. That's our free Discord. You're more than welcome to come in there. We don't charge anything to be in there. So if you guys are looking to be a part of a community that just doesn't like to mess around and sell you things, market to you, spam you religiously, we don't allow that stuff in our group. So the guys that come into our group, they love to be there. They said, this is the best group I've ever been a part of because we patrol it militantly. We keep that trash out. We ain't having that in my house. So if you guys are looking for a place you can go where you've got some dedicated people that really understand crypto, that really like what this is all about, come check us out. I think you'd be wonderfully surprised by what you see. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at something real quick. I'm having some issues with my computer's running, so hopefully we don't drop a live stream here, because I would not be surprised if we get another one of those dump live streams like we had last time I did that before I did the crypto chat. So Mediacom is not known for their great service around about this time of the month. Usually around about the 23rd to the 26th they start dropping internet connections and stuff, so I'm not going to be at all surprised if I lose live stream. So if we do lose it, no big deal. We'll just call it a day, but we'll just go and see how this works out. So I see one of my Wonder Twins, Bullish Chica. I'm going to start calling you my Wonder Twins, Bullish Chica and Wanda. They're twins. I just found that out, so I'm going to be teasing you girls all the time now. So from here to forward, you're now going to be referred to as my crypto Wonder Twins. Okay, just so you know that. Everything is just running slow tonight. There we go. All right. All right, so let's take a look at Bitcoin. Let's see if we've made or broke our predictions from earlier. And these are predictions that have been going on for quite some time. So let's see if we're sticking within the program here. Ta-da. All right, so basically I told you guys that I really, let me kind of backtrack a little bit. So I've been watching this line right here, which is a new indicator. This is what's called the HMA. I won't get into what that is, but basically it's a very telling indicator. It's just one of these things I use kind of behind the scenes. I don't always reveal all my special sauces here, but it's a really good one. So we've got, just taking a real quick look at this, we've got so many green candles here. We're going to go red on that. I mean, we're going up, but the VIP and gold and in platinum, you guys get a little bit more inside information. You see this stuff. And by the way, all of you guys that are subscribed right now, that are in the X packages and the Doze packages and the bronze and the silver, you're missing an awful lot. An awful lot. Most of the action happens inside of the VIP, which is our chats. If you subscribe to gold and platinum, you get ultra levels above that, where basically I'm commenting and doing stuff like what you're seeing on the screen. This stuff goes up daily that I'm posting and kind of mixing it up with my guys and showing them what it is I think that's going on the hour. So, you know, if you're not subscribed to at least the VIP levels that are at gold and platinum, you're not getting those critical chats that are really kind of filling in between these live streams that are few and far between, just so you know. So anyway, like I said, I just did a couple notes here. I'll go ahead and share with you guys. This has been many hours after the fact, but this is our last resistance to the upside. I said it a month ago, and far the mark's playing out. If we convincingly break above this box, and by that box I mean this red line here, and hold, then we have a real bull run, and we just have not done it yet. We just haven't. Now, this is a theoretical line. This is not a call. This is just a line where TA suggests, I'll get this out of the way, TA suggests, and let's just back this up. Coming from here to here, the TA suggests that it should go to here. Not buying it. I'm not buying it. And I've said this almost a month ago. 51.5 is where we assess further upside. Well, where are we at right now? We're not there yet. I think that what ultimately we're going to do is we're going to get this. We might get a little bit of a show where it steps over the line, dances back and forth. But I really think this is a line where we're just not going to do it. And it's going to go further down. So anyway, our action line. So I'll kind of paraphrase this here because basically I can, now that I'm on video, I can say this a little bit. This white box right here. So again, if you guys remember the last live stream, this orange box denotes the start of October. And so this is where we're at now. So the start of October is right here. So, and I kind of put this white box halfway to the 15th inside of that. So inside of this white box here is where all the action's going to be. I think we're off to the races. By the time we get into this smaller box here that's in October, sometime in this little part here from the start of the box to the end of the white box, I think this is when we're going to start heading north. Big time. Up, 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 and no looking back. I think the official run in my mind is going to start sometime on or around this right here. So what we're working with and what we're looking at here is we're looking at from today, and this is a one-day chart, by the way. So we're looking at from here to the start, we're looking at 37 days. To get to the 15th, we're looking at 50. So let's just evenly call it 50 days. So inside of 50 days, a lot can happen. Stuff moves in 50 days in crypto. So, I mean, I've had a lot of you guys are, when are we going to get the crash? When are we going to get the crash? We've got plenty of days to get it done, guys. Plenty of days to just drop straight into the pit of hell and come right back out screaming. It's very, very possible to do. I mean, because look at some of these moves we've seen in the past. These type of moves can happen inside of this amount of area. Very, very easy. So have faith that you guys are holding tight for a crash. It's very, and I don't want to use the word crash kind of sparingly, but hard pullback, we'll call it that. You guys are hoping for these lower prices to be able to buy in on that move that you theoretically missed out on. Don't rule it out, because I think it's going to happen. But I will tell you that in my opinion, that if we get to the point where we get outside of this white box, I don't think I'd be holding my breath any longer. I do want to be fair and let you guys know that. But I have full faith that if we're going to have a hard pullback, or a real, let's call it a correction, down to some of these unfulfilled moves. And by the way, like I said, I put these here for my health. They're here because they were predicted by the software. So they're unfulfilled. And that's why I leave them here, because I want to be able to give you my favorite thing in the whole wide world, which is an I told you so. I told you so, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so. So these things are coming. So these levels that we're looking at, some of these are pretty aggressive. Our lowest one being 12,000 and some change. So that's a pretty aggressive move, to say the least. Let's go ahead and pull a tape from that and see how bad that really is. That's a 75% drop. Now, if you guys really search your YouTube memory, I'm quite sure you'll remember hearing from several people thinking that we're going to possibly get an 80% pullback. That number's been bandied around. Here you're looking at a 75% drop to get us down to 12,000 to 11,000. Very, very possible. Do not rule it out. All right, so that's all I'm going to say on that for right now, but I don't want to pump too much hopium up your skirt, but that's the truth of the matter. Now, what I've told a lot of guys in the Discord, especially in the VIP, is I want to see the most pump for my dollar right now. And there's a reason I want to see it now. I don't want to see it just kind of meander around and eventually get to a higher high. I want this, and I want it now. And the reason why I want it now is because the sooner we get it out of the way, off the table, clear the plate, make or break. If we're going to break this, then let's break it. If we're not, then let's start heading down. But sooner or later here now, here's the first of the month. This marker denotes the first of the month. So I'm not saying it has to happen by the first of the month, but somewhere in here, we need to either get serious or poop or get off the pot, as the old saying goes, basically. So sometime in this let's say within a week or so, we need to go up and do a serious run up and start establishing some new highs and hold ground above this marker that's been here for so long a time, or otherwise we need to start heading down. So whatever is going to happen here, we need to be into the throes of the depths of this movement sometime in here, getting down here, because by the time we cross into this part here, we're going to start working our way up. And so we've got 3 acts to this play. We've got to get a high, we've got to get a drop, and we've got to get a resurgence. And that all has to happen inside of about 50 days. So you got that to look forward to. And this is all my opinion and how I see it. So, if so far I haven't been wrong on anything. So, if my track record holds, then we'll see what happens. But it does. I'm telling you, I'll admit that it's very hard to look at this and go, Jesus, are we ever going to really truly see 24,000? How could we possibly do that? I won't count the ways, but, we've been over this endlessly as to why. I mean, has anybody heard about job losses and any really bad news? Let me back up and say, have you seen a slew recently of closed stores? Have you seen, have we heard a lockdown speech yet? Nope. Have we heard any bank collapse yet? Nope. I mean, all that bad news is out there waiting to happen. When is that going to happen? Well, my money is sometime around here. So right here probably, and I'm not going to be surprised, is sometime around here. Now, again, they're probably going to drop something fun on us right before the 3-day holiday weekend, which is going to be at the first part of next month. And by the way, what I'm referring to is Labor Day, which is an American holiday, 3-day holiday. They have a habit of dropping this crap on us on the Friday just before, sneaking things under the radar and shit like that before the holidays. So do not be surprised, and I've said this for probably about 2-3 weeks. Do not be surprised that they're gonna sneak a funny on us, and tank the markets, or something that will have a secondary effect of tanking the markets. But we're primed for this, guys. There's just no way I'll buy straight up from here and holding ground. Just not gonna happen. Just not gonna happen. There's too many bad things that are coming, and as I've said before. You get enough of these bad things stacked up. I mean, we've got wars and rumors of wars. We've got, there's a lot of bad stuff that's going to be starting to happen here pretty soon. Fall's coming, job changes are coming, kids are going back to school, what's left of school. There's going to be a lot of transition in life, none of it good. And that's all going to start happening here before the blue line. And so when that starts to happen, it's going to have a negative effect on the markets, all markets, real estate especially. Real estate, it's going to be stock market, bond market, crypto market, all of it. So when that happens, we're going to start going down. So I have every bit of faith that we'll definitely nail this one. I have no doubt about it at all. But, if we can get this one, we can get the next one and the next one and the next one. So I won't belabor that. You guys have been fans of the show for a long time, know where I'm standing on this and how I arrive at these things. And if you guys are new to the live stream, I cover a lot of ground real quickly. Just go back through my library and listen. It's all there. If you just care to listen, you don't have to wonder what my stance is. I make it very, very clear. And I lay out I like to think, a very eloquent explanation for what's going on and why it's going to go on. So if you care to listen and spend the time listening to my ramblings, you'll pick up quite a bit. So speaking of my ramblings here, before I get too far into this, I apologize to you guys. I'm watching these markets. I don't want to turn my back on them. I'm living in front of these computers. And so we've got a crypto roundtable for this month that's coming up, where we're going to discuss how to take your money and make more money with it. What are you going to do when you're a newly minted crypto millionaire? And there's going to be a lot of them in my group, a lot of them. And so we're going to cover some pretty fun things. And the longer I wait to do this, I planned on doing it last week and the week before, but life and car crashes and girlfriends wrecking their cars kind of get in the way of that. So I apologize for taking as long. But the show is going to get better and better because I'm adding quite a few things. So I was talking to one of our mods, and it's funny, I get to talk and I kind of sit back and listen to myself. I get new ideas. So we're going to talk a few things of coming up in the crypto roundtable about how to take your money and basically hide it from Uncle Sam as far as the tax man goes. And we're going to talk about how to shelter it from those who will come and try to take it from you, because I'm a little bit of an expert when it comes to protecting assets. And there are some sneaky little curly-haired fuckers, and you know who you are, who think they're going to steal my money, and it ain't gonna happen, Jack. And you know who you are and who I'm talking to. Ain't gonna happen, buddy. So here's the thing I'm going to tell you guys, the rest of you guys. If you're looking to own assets in this world and you want to make a success of yourself, there are the most disgusting, despicable people out there that want to take the easy road and take from you what you worked hard to get. And I am here to help you protect that. I'm here to help you build it, and I'm, by God, going to be here to help you protect it. You got my word on that. So, Crypto Roundtable coming up. We're going to talk about asset protection. We're going to talk about entity structuring. We're going to talk about corporate structuring. We're going to talk about trusts. We're going to talk about what to do with your money to basically live tax-free, or as damn close to tax-free as you can get. There is really no reason you should be forking over thousands and thousands of dollars to the government simply because you didn't understand some basic concepts in tax structuring and entity structuring. Now, you don't have to be Rockefellers. You don't have to be Trump. You don't have to be whatever. You just have to basically understand some basics. But the bottom line is this. If you want to drive a new car, nice new car, you can drive one. You can let your business pay for it, tax-free. You want to live in a nice 8-bedroom house with a swimming pool in the basement, you can do it, tax-free. If you want to pass that to your kids when you die without having to pay inheritance tax, you can do that. Generational wealth is built by understanding the basics and building upon those. It does not have to be. But I'll tell you what right now, some of you guys that get out here and you make millions, I'm going to have no respect for you when you end up in the 50% or 60% tax bracket giving it away, because I'm just going to shake my finger at you and go, you stupid fucker. You shouldn't have done this, because you have to protect yourself right now before you're a millionaire, because by the time you grab this kind of money, you can't hide it anymore. And by hide it, I mean, let me explain this a little bit better. Right now, where you're broke or you have very little bit of money, you're basically not on anybody's radar. I live very close to where the Iowa lottery is at, and I've seen a number of newly minted millionaires come through that place. And, if you study any millionaire who's never really worked for it and understands how it's made, they end up broker than they started off. It's a well-known thing. If you study anyone who wins the lottery, you take 100 lottery winners, generally speaking, about 95 of them are more broke at the end than they were before they won the lottery. And I don't want to see any single one of you guys end up in this, because just doing a few smart things up front will get you dialed in where, it's not a thing. Once you understand how to get your entity structured, you'll have enough money where people can take care of this stuff for you. You got people. You're going to have people that can handle this. And you can go live your life and do fabulous things, and then you don't have to make. But, just here's the saying that I pass. Do what others do, and you'll be able to have what others have, and you'll be able to keep what other people never had in the first place. Listen to me. I'll get you where you need to go. So if you want to be a part of that and you want to learn, you don't have to be a chart subscriber. You can go to FibbyCharts.com and subscribe to Crypto Roundtable, the August, and I promise you it will be an August edition. And basically I'm gonna minister to you. I'm the minister of money. I'm gonna teach you my religion. And it's a good religion. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing evil about money. You can do an awful lot of good with money. I want to see money in the hands of good people, not in the hands of people that have bombed and killed and maimed and destroyed and ruined this world. It's time that we take it back and shape it the way we want it. So, all right. So anyway, we're gonna get on some charts here. So thank you for listening to that's my little deviation for the day. So let's go ahead and take a look at the markets here and make some sense of what's left. So Ethereum, I've been watching Ethereum, and Ethereum's been very interesting. I had some people ask me, what I thought Ethereum was going to do. Well, it appears to be following markets right now. I had somebody ask, well, what do I think Ethereum is going to do in the far-flung future? So Anubis, which is our long-distance bot that does forecasting, might shock you. I see Ethereum at $12,000 to $15,000. Now it's in the roughly 5-year mark, so that's pretty good. Now, should you be holding Ethereum? Not as like a major thing, and I've said this many times. Ethereum is one of these things. I view it as a means to an end. If you want to buy Reef, you need Ethereum. If you want to buy Telco, I believe it's Tel, you need Ethereum. If you want to buy these high profit Shiba, we're going to talk about Shiba. Guys, I have an announcement here to make. I have joined the Shiba cult. As of today. You're listening. Tiny Tank got me. She wore me down. Tiny Tank is one of our. She's one of our subscribers, one of our platinum subscribers, and God bless her. She's she's in our chat, kind of the lone person that's talking about Shiba, and I give her so much shit. I give Shiba so much shit because I gotta have something to bash on, because I wouldn't feel right if I didn't have somebody I was constantly stirring up. But Shiba's gonna have its day, and I'm gonna be there to do that. So I jumped in on Shiba today just because. And I have been watching it. In full disclosure, I knew what it was going to do. I just wanted to do it just to poke you guys and stuff like that. It wasn't time to buy it. It's time to buy it, and we will discuss that. As far as what I see, it's time to buy, because what's coming for Shiba. She comes at it from a woo-woo aspect, and you guys that know me, you know that I'm part of a council of 21 people that are very talented psychics and remote viewers and stuff like that. And we looked at it, and we know what's coming, and it matches some of the stuff that's out there. So yeah, we call it the dog pound. And so I jumped in with both feet. I'm now a member of the the Shiba cult. So give me my purple shoes and my satin thing and my special haircut, because I'm a member of the cult now. So all right, so we'll talk about that stuff here in a little bit. But as far as Ethereum goes, my before I jump ship here, Ethereum is just a means to an end. So I'm not suggesting anyone get millions and millions of these things and just simply for the fact of doing it. I think that you should buy it when the time is right, the price is right, because you just need it. I think if you have any form of investment going on, you really should have Ethereum as part of your bag, just as a means for, if a deal comes up, what's the first thing? It's an ERC20 coin. What's the first thing you do? You're hunting, you're paying full retail, so you might as well buy it and make it part of your bag, because you're going to use it. And it'll go up in value. So it's one of these things that you buy it goes up in value, great, just in and of itself. But when you go to use it, you're getting it at a discount. So it lowers the overall dollar cost average of your purchase in the future for whatever shitcoin you're buying or whatever. So Ethereum is absolutely important. So last I checked in, we had a rounded top. See, this is TA screwing with us, guys. And, we've been kind of bitching about this on the live stream for the last couple of times. It's, they know what we know, and they use it against us. TA is basically only as good as when the markets want to comply with what TA should be doing. So you'll notice I have some of you guys that have a little higher resolution, you'll notice I have a ghosted arrow right all the way down here. TA suggests it should go down here, and it's not. That's why I ghosted it. I just put it here just to kind of illustrate a point. I wasn't going to make that there so it was a call, because I didn't want anybody acting on it. But we're going completely the opposite direction, 50% the opposite direction. So is now a good time to buy. So let me give you a real quick example of what I'm talking about. So the short-term TA would suggest that we should go exactly right there. And we should actually go that double AI line. Now, it's very possible that we will. That one I'm a little bit more of a believer, because I believe the whole market is going to be going up right now for a little while, until it'll go up until it don't. That's brilliant. But it will go up until it don't. And I give it probably not that much longer before we basically all the feel good, because we are in extreme. If you look at the fear and greed index right now, I mean, that needle's damn near pegged to the right. I mean, just greed. And what comes next? What goes up must come down. So we've been on an up cycle for a very, very, very long time. It's time to pay the piper. The concert's almost over for the short term. Ethereum's going to get caught up in that. You name it. It's all going to get caught up in that. So I want to make sure that you guys that are buying this stuff, that are seeing these, and I'm not calling them calls, but these markers that I'm laying out and these indicators, that you're playing them cautiously, because we are going to be getting into a pullback here very, very soon. So when that does happen, then we got a buying opportunity. But we're going to be watching it all the way down. And I'll be doing a lot more live streams as this goes down. I won't be doing once a week. I'll be doing a lot more just to keep you guys up to date. Part of the reason why I'm not doing as many live streams right now is obviously I've got broken girlfriends to mend, and I've got personal stuff going on. But what I don't want to come out and do live streams all the time, because I don't want to cluster up the information that I give you. I want to keep it somewhat pure, and I want, whatever I told you last still holds ground unless I come on air and tell you different. So there's more information is not better information. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. All right. So anyway, Ethereum. Basically you got a little bit of a move here, but I wouldn't be buying in on Ethereum necessarily right now, because I do believe there is a pullback coming market-wide. Yeah, she wore me down. All right, so XRP, let's talk some XRP. We're coming. It's coming, guys. It's coming. It's always coming, but we're getting there. She's chugging along. She's giving us a little encouragement, and then she yanks it off the table again, because this is just it's just grueling to watch. I mean, it's just rolling in a channel here, but we're trending ever so slightly upward. So just to kind of make this blunt, where I see this going, I have it in my mind that I want to see this. Now, this is making the assumption that we're going to get that run up before we dive into that pit mid-month going into next month. I have it in my mind that I've said on last live stream that they're going to give us a show. So what is a show from an XRP standpoint? A show would be breaking all-time high at $3 and some change. Some of the woo-woo folks are saying, according to the ones that I work with, are saying $4. I'm a buyer at $4. Not a buyer, but I'm a believer at $4. I think $4 is very attainable. I think that's a point at which you're going to get so stinking much FOMO that it's going to be ridiculous. People jumping in and jumping out, thinking this is the big one, we're off to the races, And at that point, Bitcoin might be scraping the upper end of my thing that I showed you. And we hit that curve and everything just drops. And that's the point in time where we might drop down and see that 22 to 25 cent XRP. Just a hard slam. Now, this has been a bone of contention with a lot of people. A lot of people, and I've said this several times, a lot of people are really holding out for, are big believers in what I say. Well, just because I say it doesn't mean that you can do it. And I have to repeat myself over and over. I've said this before, but I do want to say this again. Many, many people now are coming around. If you get to surf on the web and listen to some of these people that are into prophetic stuff and woo-woo stuff, and some of the people in the technical analysis stuff, are starting to come around to that number that I've been saying for well over 6 months. I've been saying 22 to 25 cents over and over and over again. Have not back down. Anyone that's been a fan of this show knows I have not changed my tune one little bit. Now, I started about 3 weeks ago. About 2 weeks ago, I started telling you guys that just because we're going to see that price doesn't mean you're going to get it. I suspect a lockout. I suspect problems with being able to get onto exchanges, and we won't go through the whole list, but you know what the list is. There's 7 or 8 things that have to be lined up for you in order to be able to get in. And so now we're starting to see these people that have prophetic visions or say that claim they do or whatever, that are all starting to mimic what I've been saying. And they're all saying flash wick down, power run up, and you're locked out and you can't get in. So let me say this again for the people that are not understanding what I'm trying to say here. What I'm saying is, if we're going to drop from, let's say hypothetically, we do a huge run up, we break all-time high, they drop the floor on us, and everything just goes to hell in a handbasket and drops into the pit. What I'm telling you is, some of these folks that are coming with their dreams and their visions and their, by whatever way they come about it, are coming to my side of the table and saying now what I'm telling you and have been telling you, that everybody now is starting to expect or most everybody's starting to expect a power run down a wick so fast and so violent you couldn't get in even if you had a market order waiting, because the big guys are going to get it first. And it's going to happen so fast, bounce off the floor and rebound, whiplash style, and over and done before you ever even knew what was going on. And so this concerns me because I know a lot of you guys, not a lot, but a fair amount of you guys, some of them are even my mods, are in that situation where, you know, this was supposed to be for all the money. This was supposed to be the big life-changing play. And I hate to disappoint you, but I want to be a realist in this and telling you that I've been saying this. I'm taking positions now at over $1 just to add to my bag. You know, my son is doing the same thing, and you know, I'm not going to be holding out. I mean, I know that sounds very, very, what I want to say. It's just being real is basically what I'm trying to say. Better to get a piece of something than a whole 100% of nothing is what I'm trying to tell you. So I know if you're sitting there holding $500 to $1,000 or whatever it is you got, you know, well, I was waiting for 22 cents because I was going to, you know, I'm sorry, but if you do that, you may miss the entire train. And man, would I hate to see you do that, because what's coming is irrefutable. It's going to happen. We're going to see prices that are going to be 2 digits, 3 digits, 4 digits, 5 digits for XRP in the not too far flung future. And if you don't have a piece of that, I feel for you. I really do. So what I'm telling you to kind of be very blunt about it is suck it up and make a buy. Suck it up and make a buy. Don't try to time the market. I mean, I've got some of the best tools money can buy, and even I'm buying at these prices. And I'm telling you right now, I mean, I'm being practical. I'm being realistic in the fact that there's places you can get stuff. Now, I'm not suggesting you go all in at current price. I mean, you know, you can dream a little bit. You know, if you've got a little bit of money, yeah, certainly. But I have been having a number of talks with a lot of people that are like, you know, begging me for a strategy. And, you know, again, I don't give financial advice, but I will give opinion. And that's kind of basically Uphold, by the way. I see Uphold. Uphold is okay, but you can only buy $500 at a time unless you wire money and then they hold on to your crypto for 2 months after that. My thought for you guys that are, let's call you the under $2,500 crowd, you know, you're up against a lot of things when you're working with a small amount of money, and I don't have to preach to you. You know what I'm talking about. You know, the exchange fees will kill you, first of all. I mean, it just is what it is. So the main thing with what you want to do is you want to buy the bulk of it at an attainable price. I really honestly don't think it's very wise for you to try and time the market. You know, if you feel comfortable knowing that I'm making buying moves right now, and you want to copy my homework, I wouldn't fault you in the least, because as I had this conversation with Tiny Tank earlier, you know, $1.22, you're not going to be crying at $1.22 when this thing goes up to $11, $12, $13. How much did I pay? It doesn't matter. I'm sitting on 10x or 9x or 8x, whatever. It doesn't matter. Because better to get some of that than 100% of watching this thing go to that price and going, shit, I should have just bought. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, didn't. So now, on the other side of that, there's so many different strategies you can entertain, but again, this gets back to that wanting to see this thing go up fast. So if we do, it's, you know, I'll give you a theory. You know, I don't want to beat this dead horse too much, but we'll give it a couple more whacks and then we'll move on. If you are to buy in right now with a modest amount of money, and theoretically, and this thing runs up, the run up that we're going to see from here, if it happens fast in the next 2 weeks, I would tell you with almost 100% certainty is not the authentic one that will not pull back. All right, so if we're making that assumption, here's the play that I would probably do if I were in a $2,500 cash position. I would probably buy a good amount, and never all in, but I would buy a good amount of that. Let's just call it $1.20. I would jump in at $1.20 on most of my bag, and by that probably 80%. And I would probably reserve a little bit on the bottom end, on the dreamer side, sub 50 cents or whatever, because you just never know. You just never know. Welcome to crypto. But I would put let's just say $2,000 of that 2,500 in on the sure thing. And let's say if this thing does run to $3, $3.50, $4, I would look at that. And if you guys are chart subscribers, obviously, and you're a member of the unfairadvantage.chat, we're going to talk about this publicly. I do give away free information once in a while, so never hurts to be a part of our chat. And if you're in there, kind of mixing it up with guys, I mean, XRP is a very, very common thing we talk about, even in the public versions of the Discord. I would probably dump it. Because considering we've got about 45 days till we get to October, I'm telling you right now, cryptos don't hold ground like that. And again, you got to remember, we haven't had any lockdown announcements. We haven't had all that bad news. What do you think is going to happen? If we hit an all-time high, we break all-time high, you think it's going to go from all-time high to all-time higher through the bad news? Unlikely. So what I would do is I would take that 2,000. And, there's a little bit of hope that goes into this strategy. I'll grant you that. But if you were to take $2,000 and try to, if we get a good run this week that goes up higher than where we're at, cash the check, baby. Cash the check. You just added to your cash position. And then I would sit back and wait for the crash that comes next. And now you can buy more crypto at the bottom or close to it. That's as good a play as you got at that dollar range. So anybody agree with that? Let me hear what you have to say in the chat. I'm watching your chat. Does that sound like a plan? That's the best thing you got going. That's the best. Now, I won't say advice because that's a hot button word and I don't use that. But that's the best strategy that comes to mind. There's always a little bit of element of luck. There's always a little bit of element of hope. You can never detract that from, you find even the multi-million-dollar investors always have hope and luck. That's just part of it. So anyway, that's kind of the play. Now, as far as when we get to the back end, with all certainty, I have every bit of belief that when we get into October, the real motion's going to happen. And then whatever happens after that, it's all good, So just wanted to I want to try to give you guys something to work with because I know it's a tremendously confusing thing. You hear one YouTuber says this and another YouTuber says that. I want to give you something you can sink your teeth into, and because I do. I feel a tremendous amount of responsibility when you guys place your faith in me, and thank you very much for doing that. I mean, it's been an absolute pleasure being able to kind of guide you guys towards hopefully making your life better. And so I enjoy it. It makes me get out of bed every day and sit in front of this computer for 16 hours a day and doing what I do. I like doing what I do, but just knowing that my actions are having effects far beyond the stuff that I'll probably ever see is quite humbling. So that's kind of cool. All right, so let me take a real quick look here. So as far as XRP goes, that's really all I can tell you on that right now. We basically got to see a little bit of a run up. They're going to give us a little bit of a show, and then they're going to pull it back. So now Bitcoin, again, we have already covered that. I just want to make sure I get all that stuff before we kind of progress. So we're going to go through a few coins, and again, like I said, there's not going to be a lot to say on any individual coin. So we're not going to be getting into that way we used to do these things where we'd cover every single coin exhaustively, because basically we're waiting for the market to do the thing that will help us start to individually invest on these coins. And so until we get to the bottom, once we get to the bottom, I'll be calling prices on all these things. So we'll work our way through the list on all this stuff. But right now, just unless we have a breakout, it's just not. Yeah, we're going to look at XLM here right now. So if I can't pronounce that. It's Lord something. Antipode. I'm sorry. I don't mean to mutilate your username there. Back in the day, and by the day I mean probably about a month and a half ago, I was suggesting that XLM was 50 cents to the dollar. It's really not anymore. It's running roughly about 33 cents to the dollar. So you could safely say that if Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, if XLM runs up to $1, then you're looking at 33 cents. So if it runs to $2, then you're looking at XLM 66 cents. So just do the math. Whatever you see projections for XRP, just basically cut it by 2/3, and that's going to be your projected high for XLM. That's as close as anyone's realistically going to get for price projections. And it seems to be kind of following that trajectory, so that's the best we got to go. Now, I do have to kind of revisit this because I always want to make sure that I always come back to the basics and explain to you guys that I have said this multitudes of times, and I don't think a lot of people quite understand what they're not picking up what I'm putting down, is XLM will outperform XRP percentage gain wise in the short term because, just put this simply, if you have a 2-cent coin and it goes to 4 cents, that's 100% return. Bitcoin is not going to go from what it is now to double that. Just ain't going to happen in the same amount of time. So these lesser price coins, comparatively speaking, XLM is a lesser price coin to XRP. So you're going to see a faster, higher, exponentially larger percentage gain on XLM in the same amount of time than you see in XRP. Both will be impressive. XLM will do better. So if you want to do a play and not screw with XRP right now, you definitely want to own XRP. But if you're just looking for something you can kind of get into to cover you for right now, XLM is probably the best thing that you can do in my opinion because you can get it on Coinbase. It's not subject to SEC, all that nonsense that's going on, but it moves in tandem with XRP. So when things go up, XLM is going to go up with it. Now, if it were to kind of go back and mention that, because I know that's the real question is how low is it going to go? Again, just take it and cut it by a third. So if we're looking at if XRP were to drop to 25 cents, then 1/3 of 25 cents is whatever that is. To do the math, that's a hell of a drop. That's a hell of a drop. What is that, like 7 cents, something like that? If you can get XLM at 7 cents, I guarantee you're going to see a hell of a return coming up from 7 cents. That's going to be a dead cat bounce you don't want to be standing over. It'll take your head off when it comes up. All right, so now I had hang on just a second here. I had a Anubis price. I'm sorry I don't have that. I probably shouldn't have even opened my mouth. This thing, I've got for my guys that are in basically in chat on Gold and VIP, I'm going to talk about this. I had Anubis is our long range forecasting bot, just kicked out a long range price for this, which kind of caught me off guard, and possibly by the end of the year, and it's double digits. Good double digits. So this thing's going to light the tires, man, or light the fires. It's going to take off, and then we're going to have to start calling this the X triplets instead of the X twins because I'm kind of including this. This is not part of the X twin packages, although I might upgrade that. I don't know. We'll have to see how that works out. But if you guys are not in this, I mean, we just already had a huge run, so I don't want to see people getting FOMO happy with this. But on a pullback, you really want to pay attention to this thing because this thing's got some legs. It's ready to grow. It's going to take off running hard. So be paying attention to this one because there's going to be a lot of superstars that are going to rise when we get the last and final pullback. But anyway, for you guys that are in gold and platinum VIPs, the next gold and platinum VIP chat that I do, I'm going to talk about this and what just kicked out. And I was rather taken aback by what we're expecting to see by the end of the year. It's crazy. So Digibyte's another one here. Let me take a look. So Digibyte, we've got this, and I'll throw you a bone on this. Digibyte, I'm looking to see 10 cents here, real quick. Not too far in the far-flung future. So we're looking at 7 and some change right now. 10 cents is coming, and after that, higher. So you guys that have been long-term hodlers of Digibyte probably are coming from JSNP 4. You've been riding the old blue horse for so damn long. You start to get saddle sores. I feel you, man. I had 1.3 million of these sons of bitches. I finally got sick and tired of hanging on them. I got rid of them. But For those of you that have more endurance than I do, that are still holding on, you have 10 cents in your not too distant future, and 10 cents is going to be the pivot point where we go what Joe refers to as hockey stick. So when we get to 10 cents, hockey stick happens after that, and you're looking at prices that really are off the damn charts, double digits, double digits, and so. If you're on this ride, great. If you want to get on this ride, understand this thing has a history of misery. Hanging on to it. You have it. If you're just coming into Digibyte right now, you have not earned your stripes. If you've been holding Digibyte for year, 2 years, longer than that, happy days are coming soon. So it's probably already a relief for you guys that are holding Digibyte at 7 cents after holding it for so friggin' long down at 2 cents. I bailed out at 2.25 cents. So, but to see it at 7 cents, that's almost a godsend. But there's more coming, but by the end of the year, again, much like XDC, this thing is going to shock you. So I think we're finally going to see the move by the end of the year. So. You're not that, and before the end of the year. But come about October, this thing's going to start lighting up. But 10 cents is coming here real quick. So just so you know. Now, Theta. I haven't looked in on Theta for a while. Theta is really just not doing much. And this is kind of concerning, isn't it? When you see Theta, that you have every bit of faith that Theta is going to go. That was by the way, that's a ping. I should have called that a ping. But Theta should be running up, and it's just not. It's really funny how Theta kind of, everything else seems to be running up, and this thing runs up. This is almost an early runner. So early, in fact, that it goes up before anybody realizes a move is going to happen. This thing runs up, levels off, goes about 2 weeks, rest of the market starts going, and you forget this thing even had a run up, and then this thing just sits here like a turd, not doing anything, while everything else is pumping, and you're like, well, come on, Theta, show me something, and it just doesn't. And so the run for right now is basically over on this, and so it's basically just waiting. So I would wager, looking at Theta, that this thing is not going to make any kind of major move right away. I would not call that a sleeper because it's too upward. Basically, when you get an upward motion like this, what comes next is a pullback. And it would be very illogical to believe that we would probably drop to this dual AI line right here. And that's a pretty substantial drop of about 28%. Very doable by crypto standards. So what I would expect to have happen next, all things being equal, is I would expect this thing to pretty much sit and wait out whatever's going to happen by that XRP mini pump that I'm talking about, by that Bitcoin scraping the top. I don't think this thing's going to play. I really don't. It's not giving off the indications that it's going to go anywhere. I suspect it's probably going to sit tight right where it is, and when the inevitable drop across the board happens, it'll participate in that, and down she comes. And she'll probably come down to the dual AI line. So that's about where we're at. So if you guys want to be buying in on Theta and stuff like that, again, this is a little expensive still, I think, because I think we can go even lower than this. But this dual AI line puts you back down sub 6, puts you down at $5.60, which is not bad. It's a respectable price, but this is a lot better down in here. So if it got down here and you wanted to buy, I wouldn't fault you for it, but I think there's still more to go. If we're going to ultimately get into a real badass crash, we're going to get down into some really low stuff, sub $4. So honestly, Theta wouldn't be on my radar for a purchase unless we were sub $4, probably closer to $3. T-Fuel, much the same thing. T-Fuel needs to be talked about because every time we dance below the 25-cent line, I'm telling you guys the same thing over and over again. Buy it because it's a quick flip coin. Right now, too expensive. Wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole because it's not to say that there's not profit in it, because you can see right now we're heading towards a marker right now. But it's a return on dollars thing. And I've said this practically every time I talk about T-Fuel, but I have to kind of go back and teach the new guys that come in. If you're grabbing this right now at 36 cents, you're thinking, I'm going to make some money. Yeah, you're going to make money, but not the best money you possibly could make, because I see $1 in the not too distant future, but I don't see radical exponential, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, $10 coming for T-Fuel for quite a while, for a little while. I mean, because it is sort of tied to Theta, and Theta's not really doing much right now. So I like to kind of think in terms of Theta, feel $1 being the ceiling. That's just a theoretical ceiling. But when I take that into account, all things being equal, I'm looking at 36 cents right now. So basically just using some rough math, if I go from 36 to $1, I've gotten 300% return on my money. That is meh return. It's really not. 3x, that's not that great. It's good when you're not making any money doing anything else. But, if you're working with 6 figures, that's pretty good. But most of you guys are not doing that. You're working with $1,000, $500, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. It's not that much money, guys. It's not worth getting your hands dirty and tying up your capital. It's just not. And so I'm trying to be very practical about that. So now, if you're buying at sub 25 cents, closer to 20 cents and goes $1, then that's 5x. Now you're talking. Now you got my attention. So really, my rule of thumb for the time being is don't touch the T-Fuel for a flip unless it's under 25 cents. Even more so, 20 cents. If it gets down to 20 cents, buy it. Don't even question it. Just buy it. If that ever happens again, could happen. You never know. Horse legs married to PPT. Yeah, so we'll talk about PPT. Let's go ahead. I'm just going to hop around a little bit. This is just kind of an improv. Actually, I want to get this off my chest here. VeChain. So VeChain is another one of these. All right. So if we're going to make the assumption that the market, boy, look at that call. There it is right there. Boing. We are kind of getting into, I won't call that a sleeper formation, but we're getting into a very, very flat formation where it's going to bust out and do something. Now we're at the bottom part of a channel with a lot of upper part above it. We've got historical highs. We've been following this for a good long time. There's no reason to think we should break out. I mean, look at that. That goes back and back and back. So let's take a look at this and see how exciting this is. So if we wanted to just go to the top of that channel, we're looking at potentially 25%. You don't often see 25% return channels that often, but we've got one. That's a hell of a swing, and it's done it many times, top to bottom, top to bottom. So, and even halfway is 12, and that's still respectable. So, will we go down? I don't think so in the short term. So this would be one of these deals if you just want to play this for the flip. VeChain is kind of a messy one to be flipping. I basically kind of consider if you're in VeChain, then be in it, hang on to it, and don't sell it. But if you're compelled to flip this thing, the worst that can happen to you is you're hanging on to it and it goes through a dip and you have to ride it out. You're not going to get hurt owning this thing at 12 cents. So if you want to play the potential coming week of pump before the inevitable dump, as I see, you got, I don't know, 5 to 7 days here where VeChain might have an uptrend, and you could play that and possibly pick yourself up anywhere from 10% to 25% return on your VeChain, and then get out, because it basically, by the time this thing achieves the top of this thing, if it does, you really are looking at a dump coming, and it's not going to hold ground. So if you were to play that, I would get the money, yank it off the table, and giggle all the way to the bank, and don't double down and buy back in until we go through a crash. And that's going to be very true of a lot of these coins that I'm talking about, so I want to be making sure that you understand that concept, because if you're making any money at all on a flip this week, don't put it back in the casino just yet. Consider yourself lucky and know when to walk away. So many of you don't. I'm talking to you, C-Trim. So we have a mod. I'm going to embarrass him a little bit. It's okay. He knows. He kind of played the shorting game a little too long in an up market, and he got bit. This is why I'm going to make an example of you, and I know I do this out of love, but C-Trim is one of our shorters. He's been doing very well. He's been tearing it up. Well, he was tearing it up until it tore him up. Took a chunk out of his ass. He was playing shorts, and the market went up. And this is why I do not short. This is why I do not leverage, because it all works until it doesn't. So with me, if I get myself, and we'll just go back to VeChain, if I get myself in a position where I buy at 12.8 cents and whoops, it goes down, fuck it, I'll just hang on to it. It'll come back around, because I'm buying this thing and only I decide when I sell. Whereas if you're leveraging, someone's going to make that decision for you, and you're not going to like it. So, there's no free ride in crypto and stocks and real estate, in life. There is no free ride. It works until it doesn't. When it doesn't, it gets ugly fast. So, just want to make you guys aware of it. And sometimes I have to kind of go back and give you the medicine, because all that glitters is not gold when it comes to this sort of thing. So, not to say that he can't be on the mend, but he'll be fine. But he'll catch the bottom and he'll rebound again. But it's a powerful life lesson. But never go all in, especially when you're leveraging, because you just one bad move can wipe out. Yeah, Crypto Cruiser, were you one of those that was leveraging and got bit? I don't remember your history, man. Yeah, I know I got quite a few of you guys in my group that are leverage traders that have come to me broken. Fix me. So let's talk about Cardano, man. Cardano. So, this is one of these cases. I want to talk about this from a macro perspective. So, the illusion or the narrative that any coin that comes to Coinbase immediately goes up. Put that to bed right now. It's not the truth. It's not. Cardano demonstrated that heavily, mightily, because Cardano, which is and I use this term loosely, respected coin, or a well-known coin, let's just say that, came to Coinbase and fell right in the toilet. Came in at over $1, dropped down to, I forget, what did it get down to, like damn near 75 cents or something like that? I'm going by memory. It just kept going. I mean, from the minute it got opened up on the market, just straight down. I'm like, what the hell is that? You got a well-known coin getting listed on supposedly the miracle listing, didn't do jack. And it went down, and it stayed down on one knee forever and ever and ever. And, Horseleg, I know, is one of them that's holding this stuff, and it doesn't bother him because he's in it cheaper than that. I believe you were in it before it even got listed on Coinbase, if I remember correctly. But the main thing is guys that bought in on that thinking they were going to get the pump. A lot of them took a big fat L when this thing started to go down, and I knew it was only going to make a matter of time. It was going to turn around. So what's causing this pump? We've talked about this again. I think it bears repeating. So what is causing this? Why now? Well, why is this a superstar now? I don't think you're ever going to get this information anywhere else, because there's probably no one that has the hands-on experience with it that I do. I spent a great amount of time in Africa, and this is related to Africa. This is an African coin. They sent this thing over to grow its branches and take root over in Africa, and there's big stuff happening in Africa. Huge stuff happening. I've said this many times. There's more technology over there than we got in America. You guys that think that we're all first world, teaching the world all how the big boys do it, we're not shit compared to Africa. We're not. We're really not. My ex-girlfriend, my past girlfriend, lived in Nairobi, and we lived off of crypto. Paid it off the phone. Never touched shillings. Shillings is their money. Never touched shillings ever. 6 months of living there. Oh, everything was paid for digitally off a phone. Just the way they pitched us that the crypto lifestyle was going to be lived, they've been doing it for 15 years. Since a year after Bitcoin was invented, that's how they do their money. When you buy a Samsung phone, it's built into the damn phone. Everything they tell you crypto is going to be like in the future has been going on for a decade and a half already in Kenya and in other places too. Something called M-Pesa, which is, by the way, is powered by XRP. But anyway, more to the point here, I digress, is this is driven by Africa. So what's the driver? So there was 3 coins. There's Electronium, which I showed you guys. Hey, pay attention to Electronium. Whoosh, this thing took off within hours of me telling you guys to pay attention to it. This thing took off. And there's another one that took off also called Dent. And all these coins have African ties. So what's the great thing that's making this take off? Well, what it is the World Economic Forum wants to push us down in the first world, and they want to rise up the third world. And they're going to start in Africa. And so somebody, my theory, but it's a good theory, and I'm pretty accurate in my theories. My theory is the insiders, the powers that be, the guys who know, well, oh shit, we're going to put all our, Africa's got it going on. what's got it up? That one, and that one, and they just start buying everything that has direct ties, and those became the favorites, and that's what's driving the market right now. There's a big thing going on in Africa with technology, and these coins are leading the way, and that's the powers that be know that, and they're the ones that are throwing down the money and driving the markets, and everybody who doesn't really understand what's going on is dogpiling in behind it. It's secondary driving the market, and that's what's making Cardano go up. And you'll never hear that anywhere else on YouTube, but it is a fact. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you. So as far as where we see ourselves going with Cardano is not going to pull back and go down to $1 ever again. This thing has now started to get some legs under it. It's going to get impressive. We're going to be seeing $5 here before too long. So I have to kind of keep a little bit off the table here because this is a free live stream. $5 is coming fast. So if you guys are already holding Cardano, don't sell it yet. Don't sell it yet. My opinion. I don't believe I would be selling it yet. I would not be shorting Cardano. I would not. So basically just kind of just share a little good news with you. Cardano is finally going to start gaining some respect and start gaining some credibility from a price standpoint. Now, Dent, let's go ahead and join Dent because that's another African coin here. Let's get down to Dent. So Dent, where the hell's my Dent at? Where is my Dent at? Hang on just a second here. I lost my chart. Hold on just a second. Oh, I see what's going on. Hang on just a second. I suffer from too much information sometimes. I don't always have. Okay, so I'm going back. So this is Platinum. I'm not Platinum Pro. All right. So Dent is right there. So Dent is another African coin. So this one was the big boy. This was the big money maker. So the question of the week is: are we going to pick up steam and are we going to take off again? So let's bear down on the TA and see what classical TA has to say. So you guys know I got in right here, and this thing went up and up and up. Now I had called this before it ever, way back when it was here. I took a real quick intuitive look at this and I said it's going to stop right here. And let me peel all the garbage off. And I basically made a real whipsaw motion. I said it's going to stop right here. And I drew this line and I said it's going to stop right here. And it ran up and ping, bounced right off of that and pulled back. Now, basically what I was kind of saying by showing that, let me go back and recreate that. I was saying that basically what's going to be doing is it's going to be kind of oscillating lower and lower and lower, is what I was suggesting, more or less. And so that is, in fact, what happened. I got that idea when if you guys remember Matic, it went clear up and then it went up, 90%, and then it went, whatever. I was kind of seeing some correlations there. That was a gut intuition type thing, and I was right. So I liquidated my position on this thing and got the heck out when it pulled back a little bit. So now we're into kind of a pennant formation. So what's doing here? Are we going to go up again or are we going to go down? Now we're looking at a one-day chart here. So I want to make abundantly sure you guys understand what we're looking at here. This is a one-day chart representing every candle represents 1 day. So on the 1 day looking at this, the Bollinger Bands are spreading. That's this green bubble right here. Let's zoom on in here real quick. So it's spreading, meaning something's about to happen. Whatever action it's taking, it's magnified. So the green is above red on the Snapdragon, which is the green, red, and blue lines. When green is above red and above blue, that means it's bullish. When we are green on RSI or on the MACD, it's bullish. When we are green on the RSI, or the blue is on the RSI. So far, so basically to kind of cut to the chase here, we're not quite looking convincing yet on the RSI. We got a little more time to go. Okay, so we're going to call that one a neutral. The MACD looking not that great either, so we got another neutral. We're already green over red. it's not really sending off sharp signals that says we're ready for our next leg up. Now, having said that, should you just buy and say, I'm good enough, I'm just going to buy it right now? You're looking at 0.0068 cents. This thing is going to do some crazy ass prices. $11. I mean, it's going to go crazy. Crazy. So if you're buying it at 0.006 and you're fussing and worrying about getting it at 0.005, don't. Just don't. If you're going to buy it, buy it. You got better things to do to hover over a computer trying to save yourself microfractions of a penny. Just get it done. Now, I am not buying back in because I've rode the ride. I got a really insane rate of return on this, and I'm flipping it over onto something else. So the way that I do things is I ride the ride till it hits the top of the roller coaster, then I jump off and I look for a roller coaster that hasn't gone up the hill yet. Very simple analogy, but that's investing 101, the way you should do it. So we went up the roller coaster, I jumped out, and I'm looking for another roller coaster ready to start working its way up the hill. Yes, I could have stayed in this, but the thing is, there's no guarantee this could have gone higher. I hit my first call, good enough, know when to fold them, know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And I walked away, and I not only did I walk away, I ran. I took my money, and I got the hell off the table, and I netted a very impressive rate of return coming in from here. So happy with that. Had this talk with one of our subscribers, and they said, well, when do I buy back in? This is a good time to kind of spit a little theory at you again on this. Some of you guys have one-itis. Most of you guys have one-itis. This is a good example of when you should just basically go, okay, I made my money on this coin. Next, please. Go look for something else. A lot of you guys suffer from, I see the losses, and I like to kind of share this with you guys. No, not $11 end of the year. It'll be a while longer than that. It's going to be a lot longer than that. It's going to be like 3 years before we get to that. But a lot of you guys have one-itis where, you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out. You use like the one coin, I shall not ever leave any coin but this coin. And that's a really dangerous investing mentality to have. You should look at the entire buffet and put on the plate what serves you best in that moment. And so, you really, I would suggest to you, and we'll talk about this in future broadcasts. I'll come together with a better analogy I can share with you newbies, and kind of give you an analogy that would teach you mentality that I'm about to explain here. If you're just trading one coin, you're always looking for the high, the low. You're always looking. You're swing trading basically, and swing trading is just one way to make money in crypto. You can jump in and out of two coins. You can basically swing between two coins. It doesn't have to just be one coin. Say, for example, the X Twins, XLM, XRP. I do it all the time. Anytime XRP is up, I sell it. I move it over to XLM when it's down. When XLM goes up, I move it over to XRP. You can do it that way, or you can just move it to whatever coin makes sense, which is ultimately the better play. You have a wide market there with thousands of coins. You don't have to be trading Dent and Dent exclusively. You don't have to be trading XLM or XRP or pick your favorite coin. There's other things to take a bite of. So if you get Dent and then you pull Dent off like what I did, and you yank a whole bunch of profit off, don't go back to the same casino, because there's many casinos up and down the strip. And so that casino might be played out. All the good cards have left the hand. You need to go find yourself a new table to sit at, to put it in that analogy. So that's what basically your job is, to be able to evaluate markets. Look at these things and looking for, whatever the chef is cooking. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's lobster, sometimes it's steak, sometimes it's Cheerios. Fuck it, whatever, whatever's good at the price. And so if you see profit, take profit. And again, back to Tiny Tank, because we had a very long talk today. And she's like, she had Shiba, and it went way up. And she's like, I don't know when to take profit. When you see it, get it off the damn table. And we talk about this in crypto school about how to read these charts and how to know. This was not an accident that I knew that this was going this high. It's just a simple matter of being able to read these things and understand. When the Bollinger Bands are spreading, all these things are going on, and you're looking at the different time frames. It's very obvious to you. It's time to get out of this trade. Sell it. And so when you sell that thing, you can feel good about it. You may not necessarily. Now, I'll be in full disclosure. I didn't sell here. I sold here. But, big damn deal. So I left I left 4 to 5% on the table. That's fine. I pulled 85% off the table, so I'm fine. Thank you very much. No tears here. So that's basically it. $11, not 11 cents. $11. Yeah, you just heard it right. Dent is going to tear it up. Yeah, it is going to tear it up. So yeah, if you're new to Dent and you're like, yeah, I want to give me a bag of that, get it. Not advice, but I mean, it's common sense. Get it. It's got utility. It's being used right now. It's not an if. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. Yeah, roughly about 3 years. All right, so sorry I'm not moving through these coins a little bit. I got distracted. So Tel's one. We haven't talked an awful lot about Tel. Tel's going to start coming to the forefront here. We're going to start talking about Tel. Tel's really making moves. It's a good one. We talked about this. We did. If you guys want to see some of the reports that Red Bear does coin reports, and he's our resident tech expert, and we're putting out things. We got a new one coming out now on Reef. Reef is one of our fan favorites in the group. We have a Red Bear review of Reef coming out here as soon as I get the thing edited and get it out. That should probably be tomorrow. So you guys that are new to the live stream, like and subscribe. Man, we got a lot of information. And on the 1st and the 15th, you guys, if you like that last broadcast we just did with Mickey B. Fresh and XRP, or Patty XRP, Patty XRP. I'm sorry, I mutilate your name every time I do this. We're going to be planning tentatively around the 1st and the 15th of the month to be doing stuff. We're going to talk about Polkadot next coming up. So I'm bringing on a lot of people other than just me doing what I do. We're going to be bringing on a lot of other people who are experts in their field or authorities in their field, and we're going to round this thing out where it's not just me telling stories and rambling. It's a lot of people giving cross opinions. We do have we have some psychics that are part of my group that we do want to get online, and we just haven't made that happen yet. So Sandra, I know you're in my group, so would you please give me a DM? Let's get something hooked up, because we were going to be doing an interview that kind of fell to hell and we didn't get a chance to get together. So let's get that happening here pretty quick, because I know my woo-woo crowd would love to hear some of the discussions we've had recently. So yeah, that'll be coming. So as far as that, I am also trying right now currently to reach out to the Economic Ninja, who has an awful lot in common with me, his understanding of the real estate market, the economic markets, and stuff like that. I think that would be a wonderful conversation, a multitude of conversations we could be having. So I'm reaching out to him to try and get him on the show and send him a message. Haven't heard back from him yet, but so if any of you guys want to kind of buzz him and say, hey, you need to go talk to this Red Baron dude, he wants to interview you. Send him over to me. I'll take care of him. We'll bring him online. So trust me, what we have to say about the housing market and stuff like that, that's a conversation you would not want to miss. All right, so as far as Telcoin goes, she's making moves like she wants to go higher, and probably will. So in the short term, again, any move I'm showing you tonight is basically a flip move. It's not a hodl move, and we're making it gray because these are all just theory, because they will use this stuff against you right inside the fib ring. Beautiful. So that's a potential move on Telcoin of 26%. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Now, the beauty of this is you're looking at a sub 3 cent coin. So let's say if you buy this, wanting to make yourself a quick flip, 26%, and it doesn't do it, you're not going to get hurt. This is a damn good project. We did a Red Bear review on this also. This thing's going to see much more upside above it than what we're seeing below it. So if this thing does dip, just hodl, ride it out. It'll come back around, and so much more. So this is pretty much, as I see it, what I define as a no-lose proposition. If you can control yourself and not panic sell and take a loss. So if you wanted to jump in on a quick play, a potential quick play, this would be a pretty safe one if you know how to play this the right way. All right, so let's go through a few here. I want to get down to, let's take a look at Electroneum. So Electroneum, again, this is that African coin we were talking about. So this thing, I called it, and it just took off. This thing's crazy. I'm expecting, realistically, I'm expecting that to be the ceiling right there. I got double confirmation, and this thing has one more blast in it, and this again will happen in the time frame of XRP hitting that $3 to $4, and I think it's going to reject off of this, relax, and fall back down. And from this, if it did that, I would expect easily probably a pullback down here into this range here. It'll probably drop at least that far, but it would not surprise me to at least get down again down here, because it's a little bit far to expect it to fall away through the floor, but we've got a trajectory that's basically that kind of along those lines. So Electronium is going to be a really good one in the future. It has use case now. If you guys know what Fiverr is, it's like Fiverr, and it's an African micro job site. And the coins Electronium are the standard of pay for that. So, all right. But anyway, Electronium is one of those African coins, and definitely worth, if you're looking at a sub 2 penny thing, not a bad bargain at all. Not bad at all. As long as we're talking about those type of coins, let's go ahead and take a look at another one, which is Reef. Reef is front running everything else. Now, without telling the whole story, when I discovered this thing, I discovered it and I bought in it at 2.5 cents, and this thing went up 90% right after I bought it, and suggested everybody buy into it. And it took a long time to pound it down to under this. It went way down. I wasn't liquid. I had too many other things going on. My dog ate my homework, whatever my recent excuse is for that. In all seriousness, I didn't have enough liquid cash to be buying it down at these prices, but I was telling you guys, anything below this blue line, which is the first time I bought in, is a godsend. So a lot of you guys kind of just jumped in on it. We were waiting for lower prices still. We could still get it. Because I've got the watch zone right here, and I'm not kidding around about that. If we do get like a hard pullback, that'll put us down 50 to 60%. Yeah, it's very possible it could fall down in that range. So if we do get the hard pullback, and if it falls anywhere down around a penny, you best snatch it up, because that's going to be the last time you're going to see these prices. And when it starts to go north and continues to go north, way north, we have a $3.36 projected high for this thing inside the 36 to 48 months. And so, that's something that's had been predicted by Anubis, our long-range price robot. And this one is already showing strength. When everything else is kind of really too sure about what it's doing, Reef is already starting to get very bullish already. And there's no reason why this should be running as strong as it is right now, but it is, which is a telling indicator that there's some very interested money behind this project. So, let me see here. A couple other things I want to talk about. 1 inch is another one. 1 inch, man, this is a nice I told you so. So when this thing has just been up and up and up, just parabolic, just up and up and up. Not quite parabolic, but definitely making a very nice run up. And when the rest of the DeFi exchanges are all double digits and this thing is still at 334, I'm asking myself why. Why? Because this is a much better project than Uniswap, certainly, than Pancake, than SushiSwap. It's a beautiful interface. It's just got so much more going for it. But it's refreshing to watch this thing start to come into its own. When I have told you guys, since it was $1 and then some less, that this thing is going to grow legs and it's going to run. And so now we're at basically almost 3.5x. From when I started to tell you that stuff. So it's already gone up 350%, 350% since I brought this to everybody and told everybody to be paying attention to this. And it's nowhere close to done yet. So in order for this thing to get on par with like SushiSwap or any of these things, it has to get into double digits. 20, 25, even 30, $35. Very doable, very achievable, very worth it for this. So 1 inch, if you're looking for something, you want to be in the DeFi exchange space, this one can't get a finer example in my mind than this one. So definitely, if this thing gets a pullback, I would hate to see you spend $3 on something I told you way back when you could get it $1, but I don't think you're going to get this at $1 ever again. So if this thing pulls back, probably might pull back to $2 and some change, maybe a little bit under. But I don't think you're going to see those ridiculous prices anymore that you used to see. But don't let this one get too far down the road before you get a piece of it, because it's a damn good project. All right, so So the big dog is sleeping right now. It's not really doing much. I don't mean sleeper as in wake up running, but it's definitely heading that direction. So this thing is going sideways, acting like it's time to do something. So it's my initial gut reaction to this is I don't think it's going to be making a move during this little pump that we're expecting on XRP. I think this thing is going to ride until the fall comes, and it's going to join the fall. So I don't really think this thing is. This is just my gut instinct speaking, not any kind of TA or any kind of basically. It's just I've watched this thing with. I put great amount of hours of study into this damn coin, so I know how it does things and how it doesn't do things. And my expectation is this is sleeping for entirely different reasons. Not sleeping, waiting to wake up running, just sleeping. And so I think that this thing will go sideways till we get a market-wide drop, and this thing will drop with the market. So there's nothing to see here, folks, at this point in time. I think that's my initial intuition. If we do get a pump, I don't expect it to hold because we will get the dump that follows it. So if I'm wrong, there's other places you could be putting your money for good returns anyway. Crypto Rich isn't playing this anymore. I'm not playing it anymore. So right now it's basically just kind of there until we get into prices and proof that this thing is going to really do something for us. This is very much like T-Fuel. It's at 31 cents right now. I see Doge going to $1 eventually. You know, what glory is there in 300% return when you're not really sure about it anyway? So that's kind of where we're at with this. So unless this thing got down to sub 25 cents, I wouldn't be really giving too much of a damn about it. Now, with that being said, here's my new my new thing. Like I said, I've joined the Shiba cult. So Anubis gave us this a long time ago, and these are funny little things. I mean, they just come out of nowhere. Like, what in God's name was I thinking to put? That's a huge call to be making. But that's what's funny about them. They come out of nowhere and they just surprise you. This is based on something, and I'll show you what's based on something called an opening and closing move. For you guys that are new, I always have to explain this because people go, "What is an opening move?" Computers have OCD. There's a big move right here. Anytime they do something. Anytime they open a move, they close a move. So in other words, if it runs up and it goes over and it runs down, or if it goes up and runs over and goes up the same amount further. Opening and closing moves are a real thing that's been proven over and over again. Pattern recognition is something I'm good at, and it's not something you'll find ever expressed in classical TA, but we have several of these things called a J-hook. There's several different things that I've just noticed over time, and I've kind of incorporated them in what I do here with the grid. They work out stunningly accurate most of the time. And opening and closing moves are something that you can see. Well, you can see a micro one right here. Here's an opening move. Here's a closing move. There's moves inside of moves. But we have this giant move here that has to kind of be closed. So we're looking at this. This thing could go here, or it could go here. You'll notice I got an arrow going down. Gray means low probability. Yellow means higher probability. So if we're considering to be in a bullish mode, and then I made this while I was talking to Tiny Tank, who's one of our subscribers, who's basically the big pusher on Shiba. I said, well, we're going to get this move. Make no question about it. We're going to get an up move or we're going to get a down move. But I'm telling you right now, sure as shooting, we are going to get this distance of a move. It's called velocity. It's going to go up or it's going to go down. So what we're doing here is we're playing probabilities. We're playing, we're playing the hand that's dealt to us and trying to figure out what we should be doing with it. So we have some clues here of what's to happen. We just got to plug it into the TA, hope the TA is accurate, use a little bit of intuition, look at the whole market, and just say, okay, I think it's going up. And that's what I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking it's going to go up. Now, will it go up this far? There's a thing that's been happening recently called a 50% move. The TA will suggest it's going, let's say 100 pixels. It'll run 50 in reverse and go down. Just because they do that to screw with people who think they understand what's going on. It's just another little thieving little play that the markets do. And it very well could go to 50% because you got some confluence with that right at the 50% mark. So possible, it could pump up 50% and just lose steam and drop. Very, very possible. But right now in the pure play, my money loosely is on the upside. Getting back to the larger narrative, okay, so if I'm wrong and it goes down, it will come back around. So Anubis is basically forecasting some very high, ridiculously high highs for this, as are some of the more well-respected psychics, as are some of the other TA people who understand this. There's a lot of different influences that are looking at this thing kind of going, we could probably see 70 cents out of this thing. 70 cents. Are you kidding me? This thing's got 5 zeros and an 8. And you're telling me this thing's going to go to 70 cents? Yes. 1,000x. 1,000x. Put $1 in, get $1,000 back. Put $2 in, get $2,000 back. Yeah, that 1,000x. And it's very possible. So my software don't make too many mistakes. And so this actually only represents about a 30% move. So this on the whole is only a micro move. Of course, you're going to have to wait for that a little bit. I'm not suggesting it's going to happen today, this week, this month, or even to the end of the year. But we have a number of things that are stacking up on our favor with Shiba. And this is why I've been kind of bad mouthing this publicly just for fun, just for sport. But when in all seriousness and all kidding aside, there's a lot of really good reasons why Shiba's about ready to do something. First of all, it's got it for lack of better reason or lack of better description, is it's starting to gain credibility. Remember how I used to badmouth Doge for sport? Well, I ain't doing that anymore because basically you got some serious institutional money behind Doge. Who'd have thunk it, right? Well, we're getting it now with Shiba. Here's a couple little head scratchers for you, and this is what kind of you have to interject. There's all the feel good. Well, I like that cute little doggy coin. Well, that's not why you put money on it because it's got a cute doggy. You have to find facts. You have to find reason. You have to interject some common sense to this stuff. And this is like a puzzle you got to put together and make all the pieces fit. Or otherwise, it doesn't make sense to be in it. So I look at the logical side of this, and I'm like, okay, well, what do we know about this? Well, let's take a couple of facts just from today's quick research that I've done on this. This coin is on practically every single market right now. It is on Coinbase. They're not trading it yet. But here's an interesting thing, and if you have to understand how markets work. If you got a coin and you want to put your coin on a Coinbase, we'll call it Coinbase or Kraken, certainly Binance. If you want your coin to be on those, you got to pay a fee to be on there. But here's the thing. Riddle me this. Why is this damn coin on every single exchange and it doesn't pay fees to be there? Think about what I just said. This coin has been maneuvered to be positioned on every single exchange out there, and it paid nothing for the privilege of being there. Somebody, who by the way is another nameless, faceless person, pulling strings, has put that there for a reason. Interesting. Things that make you go, All right. So the next thing you have to understand is this. So we have this little we'll call it a show because it was a show in my mind. So Coinbase, which is a large exchange, it is the de facto exchange for the North American market. Say, hey, bring your coins in and drop them in with us. Oh, we had a little technical glitch. Give me a break. These are professional software engineers. You think they really had a boo-boo with this thing? Come on. You're telling me they just had an oops moment dealing with multiple billions of dollars. They just, oops, sorry, we screwed this up. Come on. This is the big leagues. We don't do stuff like this in the big leagues. And so this little oops was a market test, if you want to look at it that way, to see what kind of interest it is. And so they basically got everybody to put their Shiba on Coinbase. They were testing reaction. Well, they got what they wanted out of it. So it's there. It's ready to go. It's locked and loaded. Now, Robinhood is in talks to list this also. So what do you think is going to happen with Shiba when it's on every exchange out there? Binance, Kraken, name your favorite. It's on it. And this thing again, very comparable to XRP. When it finally gets legitimized by Coinbase, when it finally gets legitimized by Robinhood, which is probably the most illegitimate trading platform out there, when those two go live. Now, what does Robinhood and Coinbase represent? And if you really stop and think, it represents stupid money. I'm sorry to hurt feelings. Robinhood is the place where stupid money goes. Robinhood kids, whatever. That's where stupid money who doesn't know how to trade goes to. It's an app, and so kids or whatever you want to call it. The stupid money trades there. So when the stupid money comes flooding in, it's going to come through two places. It's going to come through Coinbase and it's going to come through Robinhood. And when it does, it's going to come by the millions and billions. And when it does, what do you think is going to happen with Shiba? On top of it, they're talking about doing a coin burn. Another coin burn, for you guys that don't understand, basically they're going to take the pile and they're going to destroy quite a bit of it. Meanwhile, jacking up the price of what's left. So all these things are going to come together in one gigantic orgy of perfection. And when it does, whoosh, there goes your Shiba right there. Exciting, isn't it? So for that reason and that reason, I have joined the cult. All right, Matic. I want to cover quite a few of these because there's a lot of stuff. So Matic is another one of these that I want to make sure that I impress upon you. This is a coin that is going to be part of the new financial system. This is not an everyday Joe Lunchbucket coin. This is a serious coin that is going to be a major gear in the system that drives the financial economy. Matic is a big, big coin. At $1.58, this thing is a joke. It's so cheap. I mean, you don't want to pay for it right now because you can get it cheaper, but this thing is a joke how cheap this is. We've got it forecasted in the triple digits. Soon. And I hate to use this term, the flip of the switch, but that's the thing that people say when they flip the switch and go digital. Well, it's not going to work quite like that. But when this thing starts to really become a major used gear in the machine, and it's on its way to being that, this thing is going to go into the respectable triple digits very, very quickly. Matic is going to be one of those coins that you're going to buy, you're going to hold, and you really probably don't ever want to sell it. So I want to kind of put that on your radar and make sure that you understand that this much like XRP is probably, if you really, and I've never really put it this way, but if I'm just picturing the crowd because I can't see any of you guys' face, but I have a kind of a conglomerate picture in my head of what the average listener looks like or lives like. If you really want to have an opportunity to invest like bankers, like the big boys do, Matic is one of these. XRP is one of these. XLM is one of these. If you want to, you've always pictured, I always wish that I could be in on the inside. I'm telling you right now, welcome to the inside. This is one of the insides. If I wish I could be like the Rockefellers and know the stuff that they know, and the the Rothschilds or whatever, and know this stuff. By the way, the Rothschilds own the controlling interest of XRP, if you didn't know that. So, surprise. And they also own a lot of this too. So, but nonetheless, these old school money people that are basically driving the creation of this stuff, this is the gear that's going to be in the new machine. So you definitely, if you want to control, how do I want to say this in a way that you guys can understand? To look at these coins like you buy them to flip them to, I made a little bit of money, I made 20%. That's potato chip stuff. We're after the steak. And if you really want to play the game the right way, not to get commercialized on you again, I cannot stress enough. If you guys really, if some of this stuff is hitting you like a ton of bricks that I'm saying, and normal YouTubers don't talk the way that I talk, and you really want to listen deeper to what I have to say, get in on the next crypto roundtable for this month, because I'm basically gonna peel your brain open and stick some stuff in there that's definitely going to change your view of money. And you got one shot to do this and do it right. And so if you're chasing these small little nickel dime deals, going, I made 20% or I made 300-400% on X flip coin or whatever, at the end of the day, that doesn't carry you down the line to the next generation. You need to get the coins. Yes, you need that short stuff to build up your nut, so to speak. But you need to, in the long to medium term, you need to grab stuff like Matic, stuff like XRP, stuff like XLM to hold and never let go. And I'm going to teach you what to do when you get it in the coming crypto roundtable. One of my favorite things is I'm going to teach you, and I gave a little teaser on this let's talk about this a little bit here. So, you guys, we've talked about what what you guys are going to do when you become millionaires. And we started this broadcast talking about structuring your entities correctly and stuff like that. If you structure your entity correctly, okay, so it's protected. What are you going to do with the money now? Do you have any idea? Well, I'm going to buy more crypto. Well, that train is on a very short track. Crypto has got a shelf life, anywhere from 6 to 8 years. What are you going to do after that? You got to think generationally. So in order to do that, you got to understand how the generationally wealthy already do their thing. And I already know because I associate with them. I have some of the wealthiest people in the world I've associated with. One of my best friends is a member of the Seagram's alcohol family. And trust me when I tell you, and they're in my group, trust me when I tell you, they can buy an entire downtown of a major city in cash with the kind of money they've got sitting around. And so I watch the way these guys play with their toys, and I'm here to tell you I can decipher that down to street level and teach you guys, all he is, how this works. It's very, very simple. And nonetheless, what I'm going to do is one of the things that I've added to the Crypto Roundtable that I'm going to talk about is how to get real estate, because I know a thing or three about real estate. I was one of the largest non-corporate landowners in the state that I lived in before 9/11. I'm going to teach you guys how to take your crypto, how to use this one special little thing that you might have heard the term. I'm not going to give it away. You might have heard the term. It's not foreclosure, by the way. And I'm going to teach you how to basically, without ever meeting the people who own these houses, to jump in on a simple investment that you can actually do through the mail. Buy houses at pennies, and I do mean pennies, on the dollar. Never have to evict anyone from their house. Have the government collect the money and send you the check, or in the best case scenario, give you the house for pennies on the dollar. Now imagine, I'm going to tell you the story of a gentleman that I know that I'm not proud of it, but I just bumped into him, so I found out who he was. He was a accountant for the Medellin drug cartel, and he does this legally. Matter of fact, he's in the witness relocation program here in the Midwest, which is the dumping grounds for federal. But he takes tax-free money he gets for witness relocation program, and he does what I'm going to teach you guys. And this guy owns so damn much real estate, he couldn't even cash the checks. He has 3 people endorsing checks full-time for him. That's insanity. And so anyway, but to kind of sum this up, I'm going to teach you guys how to basically take your crypto wealth and buy whole blocks of cities for pennies on the dollar. It'll absolutely be the most mind-blowing thing you're going to hear all year. So definitely worth your attendance. So, if you want to spend a little time with me, I'll definitely widen your horizons farther than any other YouTuber possibly could. So I'm excited to do this one because this is my wheelhouse. I can talk for hours on it. It's a fun topic. I love to make money and I love real estate. So this is one of my favorite things. So anyway, let's get back to crypto. So anyway, back to Matic. This is old school money in a modern package, and so Matic is something you definitely want to have a piece of. Oh, and I'm with you. I hate ERC20 coins. As I said at the top of the thing, get yourself some Ethereum at a decent price. Have a bag of that, and it becomes less of an issue. I absolutely appall ERC20 coins. They're expensive. I'll tell you right now, as a matter of fact, you guys donated money for our mod, and thank you very much for that. That was quite inspiring to see what you guys did for our mod, and I'm happy and very proud to be a part of helping him out. And but it was you guys that did that, and so I want to officially thank you on his behalf. But what I was going to say is some of you guys donated Ethereum. And I probably should have dissuaded you from doing that because, the fees just to get it into the wallet and then off to him. I mean, fuck, there was nothing left by the time, I actually went into my pocket and converted some of that to XRP and just gave him the XRP because there was like $70 stuck in a wallet that, it's in the Exodus wallet. You can't even get it out. You got to add more crypto to it just to get it out. ERC20 is just a shit, stupid idea. It really is. It absolutely is. I hate it. But, it is what it is. So you can love it or you can hate it. But, if that's where the money is, then that's where we go. You know what I'm saying? All right, Populous. We're going to talk about Populous. That was another thing. So this is another one of those. This is the old sleepers wake up routine. So this is whoops. This thing's been catching a channel and running sideways for a while now. Populous, again, I showed you where I thought the bottom was going to be, and we bounced off that twice, and we've got a potential run to the top of the channel. So if things get spunky with this thing and the XRP starts running up, Populous will do it too. And so we've got a potential to run up inside that channel as much as probably 16.5%. So here's what I'll say the same with Populous that I've said on all these coins. We are at the again, to explain what an iceberg is. If you look at the entire price structure of a coin being an iceberg, we are at the bottom part of an iceberg right now, so much more above than below. So if you buy this thing at $2.50 and this thing takes a dip and goes down, it ain't going to stay down for very long. You know, this thing had gone up as high as $90. So the all-time high is just ludicrously higher than it is right now. Not suggesting it's necessarily going to ever attain that price again. Oh, and it will, because Populous has very, very strong use case. This thing, as the economy gets shittier and shittier, this thing is going to get better and better. I won't go into the details of what this thing does, but it thrives. It thrives in loss and chaos. And that's what this thing does. So as stores start to have cash flow problems, as businesses start to have cash flow, this thing is going to step into the gap and just make bank, baby, bank. So to buy this thing at $2, and let's just call it $2.60. To buy this thing at $2.60 and hope for a little turn up on the channel so you can shave off a little bit of a profit. Not a risky move as I see it, because if this thing goes down, ride it out. Just don't go in with, don't sell that kidney. Hold the kidney for a better price. Don't sell anything you might need later on. Don't bet the rent money or anything like that. But if you got an appreciable amount of money, a couple $1,000, not a bad play to try to pick up 16%. You know what I'm saying? So right now, this week is basically going to be this is going to be a scalp week for us. Whatever money you can make from a position you're at that you intend on selling. I mean, if you guys are hodling, then this conversation is not for you. But if you guys wanting to make money, this is going to be a scalp week from here till, I don't know, let's just call it next Sunday. But in the next 5 to 7 days, you have an opportunity for a potential scalp. If you see it, you're in profit, book it and get the hell out of the casino, because what comes next is not more of the same. It's a downward thing. It has to be. It's past due. It's coming as we get closer into that, or we get further into that white box. October is coming. Tick tock, tick tock. And we have to have that drop so that we can get that raise in October. Let's see. Oh yeah. So here's a. I always like to chastise you guys a little bit. So when that was Anchor, wrong one. Where's that? There it is. Loop ring. So loop ring. I went back to look at it. I went back in my Discord. And I said, I know that I told everybody at least one time. Turns out I told you guys 3 times in Discord. I told my mods in the mod room, I told Gold, and I told Platinum. I said, watch Loop Ring. Something's going to happen with Loop Ring. And I said it clear back here. And I said, watch, I have a feeling in the not too distant future something's going to happen. Well, something did happen. It came in, I had just around about here, I had told you guys the last time you might want to, I think it was actually on the last live stream before we did the XRP Patty, I think two live streams ago, I mentioned that you might want to take a look at Loop Ring. And from that, it's getting to be kind of ridiculous. Every time I say this stuff, it tends to pop right after I tell you that exact phrase. You might want to take a look. It takes off running. And this is not a classic sleeper, because sleepers basically, the old saying, sleepers wake up running. Sleepers do not go uphill. Sleepers go sideways. But there was so much just inaction. It was just coiling up, and something just didn't feel right. And if you remember from our broadcast with Red Bear talking about layer 1 and layer 2, he mentioned Loop Ring. And that's when I saw this, and I was remembering back to that video, thinking, he was talking about layer 2. Layer 2s are hot right now. And so this is a layer 2 solution. So it was inevitable that this had to happen. It was the perfect storm. And so, I mean, much to my surprise, what this actually did, that don't look like that big of a launch, but holy hell, guys, that was 70.1%, 70.9%. Massive. That's what you call a moonshot right there. Massive. We haven't seen a 70 like that for I don't even know how long it's been on just a pair. And this was a Coinbase coin. You could have got in on this thing super easy. Just go over to Coinbase, buy it. You would have been in on it. Now, should you buy it, hoping that it's going to go further? We don't chase knives. We don't chase balloons. We don't catch knives. It's done for right now. So yes, it will go higher, but the glory is over. If you got in on this, great. If you didn't, catch the next bus. This one isn't your ride anymore. But so I just wanted to make the point that we do make these calls. So if you guys are new to the live stream, please join me. Again, my name, I go by RB. Everybody just Red Baron. Everybody calls me RB on the chat. But join us at the unfairadvantage.chat. Doesn't cost you anything to come in. Just hang out. And, if you guys are going to end up wanting to subscribe to the charts and being part of VIP, gold level, platinum level. I have to kind of explain this a little bit because some of you guys don't understand what you're looking at. But let me kind of do this real quick and we'll get back to. So if you basically go to fibbycharts.com, you go to subscribe, you can do that. If you want to kind of know what comes with the packages, I'll break this down real quick and then we'll get back to business. Most people come in at bronze. They just want to test taste and see what's going on very, very quickly. Within usually a day, they always end up upgrading to something. There's a big difference. You can see what you get for bronze and you get silver. A lot of these guys kind of come in and like instantly they're like, yeah, I need to have more. This is awesome. I want more. There's a big difference between silver and gold. Difference being obviously you get quite a bit more, but you get this right here, which is chat. You get the gold chat, which is me doing what I'm doing right now on live stream, and I actually do not price calls, but I show you stuff and I show you my predictions, and basically I'm on every single day, all day long, until the wee hours of the night sometimes. I spend about 16 hours a day in front of this thing, and I never take a day off. And so I'm doing this with gold, but if you step up to platinum, you get 100 different coins, and you get 2 levels of chat. The difference being on platinum and gold chat. Platinum, I tend to give a little bit more. You obviously get comments on all these. If you're in gold, you're not getting comments on all this stuff. You're just getting, I'm only commenting on stuff that's in the gold package. If you're in platinum, which is basically as good as it gets, you get all the coins that we track and every single thing that I know or think about anything. It's basically anything we're doing and tracking, and even stuff that we're not tracking. I'll do price predictions, or I'll do graphs or charts or something like that. So you got much more. Plus, we also have a Doge room, a specific XRP room. So platinum is ultimately where everybody ends up. Now, if you want to go higher than that, if you are a kind of a big dog trader, the platinum, I want to show you this here just so you know. For the longest time, this is what the platinum interface looks like. It's very clean, and all the coins are nice and friendly and everything like that, very easy to find. Now, the guys that we're moving, and I'm quite proud of this because we're starting to add a lot more to this. Platinum Pro is a whole new level of crazy. Tons and tons of analytics that are in this. So every coin's got 5 different charts. You've got built-in research that's in this thing. We are going to be shortly adding what's called a heads-up display to this. So you'll be able to come in and hit the Platinum Pro chart, and right up here, you'll be able to have a market thing like what you see when you go to Coinbase, how it shows you the coins that are up and down, shows you what's red, shows you the high gainers, the low gainers. All that stuff is going to be right here in this interface, and we're currently working on that, and hopefully should be able to go live on that within the next 2 or 3 weeks or so. So when I broadcast anymore, I am mostly exclusively using Platinum Pro because the level of information is so much better. And information is how you make money. And to give you a good example, if I'm trading XRP and I'm using one chart, I'm getting pretty good information. But if I'm using 5 different levels of charts, meaning weekday, 6 hour, 1 hour, I can kind of look at long range and short range forecasts to really know where something's moving. I'll give you a good example. If I'm looking at a one day chart, I can see something like this right here, which is basically, this is a good time to kind of segue back to this. So XRP, looking at the 1 day chart, I notated this. This is where we're headed with XRP. Month of October, conservatively $7. I say probably closer to $9 to $11 if we jump out of this channel. But these are the kinds of things that exist within Platinum Pro that you don't get in Platinum, and you don't get in Gold, and you don't get in any lesser packages. So all that stuff is built into the charts. So it's just a higher level of technical slicing to kind of give you just more decision-making tools and stuff like that. All right, so anyway, back to this. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. So there was one more I wanted to talk about, and I can't remember what it was. I'm kind of it'll hit me here in just a second. Solana, there it is. Okay, so Solana's been doing some pretty incredible things. If you guys remember, if you've been a long-time subscriber, Solana really weathered that first storm of downturn that we had. Just wonderful. Since we're out of that and we're out of this, I'm going to clean house a little bit here on camera, and I'm going to show you what I see. If you guys are in Solana, you're about to get the gift that keeps on giving. Let me show you something. You know what we call that? Anyone that knows what that means knows what's about to happen. So if you're in Solana, you're about to get a gift. Yeah, I'll go back to do OMG. OMG is our free giveaway, by the way, if you guys are part of the unfairadvantage.chat. I do have one coin that I give away. I give away just free information on. It's kind of our pet project for everybody who just wants to be able to jump in and make some money. We have this thing projected at a this year high of about 20 to 25 bucks, and we're heading there. We're heading there. Still a little bit of meat left on the bone. But, you know, back when we were at $3, I was telling you 20, 25 bucks, and I think a few of you guys scoffed at me and thought I was kidding. I'm not kidding. It's going to go to 20 to 25 bucks. It's going to go much higher than that, but conservatively speaking, inside of the year, we're damn near over halfway there already. Or it depends upon what price you're looking at. We're in that neighborhood already. So this one's got some good potential, and it's looking strong. I mean, really bullish trajectory on this thing. So we've had that's our pullback right there. That's our tiny little pullback, not our huge pullback, but this is enough of a pullback to support moving higher. So this thing is probably, if XRP blasts, I could easily see us up on that line there real quick, going from here to here, probably that much. So if any of you guys are holding XRP, more to go, very soon. All right, so guys, I got to tend to the girl here. She's falling in the car. She's I must be boring her to death. She fell asleep on me here. So she banged her head. She got a boo-boo. She smashed her cute little BMW. So she's all passed out on the bed behind me here. So I got to check in on her and let her go. So that's going to be a wrap for tonight here. We're going to call her early at 9 o'clock. Thank you very much for joining us. So you guys that, again, one more time, you guys that are new to the live stream, thank you very much for joining us. We try to do this 3 times a week. It's been kind of a trying week for me here, given car accidents and what all else. But, you know, we'll get back in the swing of things and stuff like that. So be sure to join us on the 1st and the 15th, where Mickey B. Fresh and XRP Patty will be with me, and we'll be talking Polkadot. And, of course, obviously, we'll be doing crypto roundtables here coming up, so make sure you subscribe to that. You just go to the subscription page on FibbyCharts.com, get in on the August thing. We're going to talk real estate and asset protection and then entity structuring. One is going to be well worth the best money you spent all year long, I assure you. So until next time, guys, be safe, be good, and be good at it. Peace and hair grease, baby.